my top 10 most anticipated board games of 2021 revisited. Thank you for joining me here at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. At the beginning of the year, 2021, I put out my most anticipated board games of 2021. I'll put a link to that up there if you want to rewatch that. Talk about some of the games I've heard that I heard about that were going to come in 2021. So I played most of them. A couple of them I was not able to play, but I wanted to share with you what my thoughts were now that I played them. Did I like them? Did I not like them? Would I recommend them to you? So, without further ado, let's get started. So in the 10 spot and the 9 spot, there were 2 games I was not able to play. I'm sure they would probably be good games. Number 1, the 10th one, Sagrada Legacy, hasn't even come out yet, so I can't play it. No one's played it, except for maybe Floodgate Games. I'm sure they're playtesting it because I've heard it is coming, Sagrada Legacy. Look for more information about that in 2022. I'm sure Tantrum House will be doing some content for Sagrada Legacy from Floodgate Games. That's number 10. Number 9 is Faiyum from Rio Grande Games. That's a Friedman Friese game, and I know that it's available, but I have not played it. So I can't recommend it to you because I haven't played it, so I don't know what it's really like. But it still intrigues me. I would like to get it to the table someday if I do get a copy of it. The reason it intrigued me, not only Friedman Friese, I like a lot of his games, but one of my most favorite games that he's created is Power Grid, designed, I guess is a better word. It says the game features a card mechanism reminiscent of deck builders. I enjoy deck builders. And the market mechanism successfully used in Power Grid. So it still intrigues me. I'd like to play it. Maybe I will get to play it in 2022. Which reminds me, I'll probably put together a top 10 list or top games I wish I'd played in 2021. I bet you Faiyum will be on that list. Well, number 8 spot is Lost Explorers from Ludonaut. This game just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm sure a lot of people like this game. It reminded me a lot of Splendor. And I just don't enjoy Splendor. I feel like there's not as much strategy. There's lots of strategy going on. I'm going to get a lot of comments about this. But to me, I feel like the game is really on rails in Splendor. You just need to get gems to get more gems and all that kind of stuff just to get the orders. I don't feel like there's a lot of different kind of paths that you can go on. But a lot of people like that in a game. I personally just don't like it. Lost Explorers reminded me of that. I was really interested in this game because of the theme, because of the designers, because I really like Lewis and Clark, which is back there, same designers here, and I just had high hopes for it, but I personally would not recommend it. Also, it was really interesting with how the insert sort of worked. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool how the box opens up. Everything you do is on this board here. Or not everything, but this is the main game board, which is the box cover. I didn't like that. I want this separated. I don't want it to be part of this. This is actually part of the game as well. You need to going up different tracks and stuff. Also, these tokens that are put in here, they slide down, and you actually need to see what's in here during the game, and it was frustrating to me. So this is a not recommend for me. Number 7 is The Initiative. This is a sort of story. It's a cooperative game. Players are working together to figure out the story, and there's puzzles involved. And the puzzles, so this is getting mixed reactions. This is getting a mixed reaction from me because number 1, I actually wouldn't recommend it personally. I think there's other better games out there, but I think some people will really enjoy it. The problem for me in this game is I liked the puzzles that were in this game. It reminded me a little bit of Wheel of Fortune. I'll just show you. Because in the game there is this little stand, and you are placing cards in it, and throughout the game you're lifting up different these little, whatever these are called, to reveal letters or reveal symbols. Actually, you're revealing symbols to figure out the letters and figure out what the code is or the mystery is. And I liked this part of the game. This is my favorite part of the game, trying to figure out the code and all that. The part I didn't like about the game is pretty much everything else with the gameplay. I didn't really like the gameplay in the game. How to get the clues to figure out what they were. I got bored of it very, very quickly. I just wanted to get to this in the game, the puzzle solving. I really like that in the game. There's different types of puzzles in the game. Does it show it on here? Maybe it does. Run the rule book. This is a campaign game. I don't know if I was clear on that or not. Yes, here it is. So there's word missions, there's number missions, and there's unique missions. I actually really like that. That's a really cool idea. The gameplay to me, where you are basically going around this board to find out if there's a symbol there, and I'm gonna place numbered cards down in a row. Wasn't for me. Number 6 for me is Lost Cities Roll and Write. This is a fine game. Not an amazing game, but I would enjoy playing this anytime. It's fine. It doesn't really remind me too much of Lost Cities, which is like a 2-player where you're playing cards and stuff like that. I mean, there's definitely similarities to it, but really this roll and write version where you're basically going up different tracks, there's 6 different tracks you're going up. It's kind of fun to do, but I like other roll and writes better. Rolling Realms came out this year. I really enjoyed that as a roll and write game, but Lost City Roll and Write, it's a fine game. I just put it on if it was like buy or not to buy, I'd be like, doesn't really matter. I probably would recommend other roll and writes. Number 5 is Red Rising, right smack dab in the middle. This is from Stonemaier Games, and this is the collector's edition from Red Rising. I enjoyed the game. And I even decided to read the trilogy series that this game is based off of, Red Rising, and I enjoyed reading the books. And it helped me become more immersive or understand more about what's going on in the game, and I appreciated that in the game. This game is based off of, but is inspired by another game called Fantasy Realms, which is sort of a hand management type game. Red Rising is a hand management type game. I actually like Fantasy Realms better. It's a little quicker, and I really appreciate that in Fantasy Realms. And I heard WizKids is going to be bringing a Star Trek version of Fantasy Realms, so I'm really looking forward to that. So it's a cool theme, Star Trek, plus it's a quick, fun game to play, so I will be sharing with you about that in 2022 when it comes out. But I really appreciate that. I think I would play Fantasy Realms over Red Rising, although Red Rising is really cool. The components are fun. I enjoy the story behind the Red Rising. So Red Rising, I would say if you enjoy the theme Red Rising and you like hand management type games, then Red Rising is for you. Number 4, Cape May. This is from Thunderworks Games. This game, I don't even know if it's out yet in retail, but I've been able to play it and really, really, really like it. I recommend Cape May. Whenever you get a chance to get this game, I'd recommend it if you like worker placement type games, if you like area control type games, which I appreciate those and how they're combined. In the game, you are going around and you are basically purchasing different plots of lands and where you place them and how you place them and stuff like that. You're building up. Love all that's going on in this game, Cape May from Thunderworks Games. Number 3, The Crew. This is Mission Deep Sea. This is the sequel. This is the second game in the Mission series. The first one, you went to space. This is a cooperative trick-taking game. Loved the first one, and actually, Deep Sea is even better. But there are other games that I liked even better this year. but I really, really like what Deep Sea brings to this co-op trick-taking game with how players are going on missions and the cards that you are pooling to figure out how to accomplish those tricks. There's this deck of cards and it tells you you have to win a certain number of tricks or certain colors or certain numbers or things like that. The way the Deep Sea game brings it about, I actually will play Deep Sea over the space one, the Deep Space, or Search for Planet X, or Search for Planet 9, or something like that. I like the crew. I like trick-taking games. Highly, highly recommend the Crew Mission Deep Sea from Cosmos. Number 2 is The Adventures of Robin Hood. This is another co-op game. This is an adventure storytelling game where, not storytelling, but it's a story game, adventure story game, where you are going through a campaign of different scenarios, and you are Robin Hood and his merry men, and you are trying to do different missions. I don't really want to spoil too much, but you can watch Melissa's and our review of Adventures of Robin Hood. Love the game. I really was anticipating this game coming out and would highly recommend Adventures in Robin Hood. I like the theme. The gameplay is fun, entertaining. The story in the game, as you're going from scenario to scenario, it's a great campaign in and of itself. There are surprises. The board is fun with, well, I might as well just show you. In the game itself, I don't want to spoil too much, but I will show you one board here. One board. There's stuff here that you'll be sort of revealing. Found someone throughout the game in each scenario, and you are turning those over and revealing different parts of the game as you go through the different stories. Really enjoy it and highly recommend The Adventures of Robin Hood from Cosmos. My number 2 from my most anticipated board games of 2021. And in my number 1 spot is actually Maglev Metro, which is on my shelf right here. All right, Maglev Metro. This is from Bezier Games. This is, from my most anticipated games list, my number 1, and I highly recommend it. Number 1, I love engine building games where you're sort of got your little board. Okay, you have your player board in here. I can just show you because I have the game. So you have your player board, and you are placing different meeples on this board. It's inset, which I appreciate, so it's not sliding around, and you are upgrading your actions here in the middle, or you're getting points, or you're doing other things, getting extra actions throughout the game. There we go. So you can see the board a little bit better. Love the engine building part of the game. The other part of the game that I really like are these transparent tiles. These just make the game so cool as you are laying these on the board and other players are laying their tracks on top of your tracks. So it's not like you're stealing tracks from other players or, Ticket to Ride when you're building routes and someone takes your route that you were planning for. Hate that part of Ticket to Ride. Love Ticket to Ride. But in Maglev Metro, you are basically playing tracks over tracks and love how that works in the game. The board looks so cool when the game is over, sort of like the subway with all the different colors. And one thing that I will put a little plug in from for Bezier Games is I got some new copper meeples. So one of the complaints that we had and other people have had is that the colors, they're like metallic colors. There's like silver meeples and there's these gold ones and, well, you've got pastel colors, but the copper ones, here we go, were so close to the gold ones that when they were in the, one more thing I forgot about that I really liked, but when they were on the board or when they were in your little trains, they were hard to distinguish. So on Bezier's website, you can just go to beziergames.com. I think I'll double check that. beziergames.com. I'll just double check for you right now. Bezier Games. That's right. BEZ IERGAMES.com. You can go and get a replacement set of the copper meeples. All you have to do, and they say right here, all you have to do is pay the cost of shipping to get it to you. So that's going to be pretty cheap to get you a whole new set of copper meeples, which I think is great that they listen to the people about that. This is the other thing I wanted to mention. In the game, I better find it. Oh, this is cool too. The little the stations are thick, which I think is great. But also, in here, in the game, one of my other favorite things are these cars, the train cars, subway cars, something. They are super, super cool. So they got the player colors, and maybe I'll do a close-up shot while I'm talking. But they have metallic bottoms, and you can put the meeples in them, and they stack in there. Super, super cool. So that was my top 10 anticipated board games of 2021 revisited. Let me know if you played any of the games that I mentioned, and did you like them like I like them, or were they totally different in your mind? Did you like others that I didn't like? I would love to hear from you in the comments. And also, don't forget we have a lot of other top 10 videos coming out in the month of December from Tantrum House.